members, and welcome to Tutor Focus. This is the segment where I get to talk to some fabulous tutors so that you can get to know them better. So my name's S.L.Ager. I'm the author of the Cadwallader de Quests series of vocabulary novels and workbooks. You can see those behind me just there. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to be talking to somebody who I know, who I've worked with and I highly respect, and that is Chris Pearse from Teachitright. Hi Chris, how are you?
Hi Sheena, very well, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me today.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. And as I say, I've worked with you, so I know you guys. We're trying to keep the segment down to 15 minutes. So if it's okay with you, Chris, we'll go straight into the questions. Is that okay?
Of course, yes.
Okay. I always have to glance down at my notes as well. So, okay. So as a tutor, what is your speciality and where do you teach? So tell us a bit about yourself and Teachitright, please.
Of course. So Teachitright is predominantly an 11 plus tuition company. We also do support children for the independent school, and very recently have also ventured into the GCSE world as well. We're actually based in a place called Camberley, which is just south of Ascot and Windsor, if you know where that is. But we have a number of centres across Buckinghamshire, Berkshire, Surrey, and we are a franchise as well. So if you lived in the West Midlands, you'd also find Teachitright centres there. Founded in 2006 by myself and a head teacher that I used to work with, and we've supported thousands of children over the years with various different subjects, but I must admit predominantly the 11 plus exams.
And as I say, I've actually attended quite a few of your parent workshops and I found them to be really, really good. I mean, I learned stuff from there that I hadn't realised when I was actually teaching my kids. So, and what I did find is you teach in really nice environments for the kids. So I really noticed that. So well done. Now, what made you become a tutor and why?
I was a primary school teacher for a number of years, about 10 years, in a state primary school in Slough. And the head teacher approached me and asked me whether we'd be interested in setting up some tuition on a Saturday morning, predominantly for children at our school. And I jumped at the chance, and that is really where Teachitright was born. And I think certainly my teaching experience has helped me hugely in terms of when I have been a tutor, but predominantly now I spend time in the centres and looking at high quality delivery from our teachers and monitoring what they do. You did mention earlier about the sort of parental journey, and I know how important that is. And I've certainly really enjoyed not only supporting children, but also giving knowledge to parents as well about the system and about how best to prepare their children. So my tutoring journey started, as I say, many years ago, back in 2006. I don't do quite as much tutoring now, but certainly do enjoy going into the classroom and seeing how our students are getting on.
Yeah, and the thing I noticed about your classes that I've sat in on, that they have been the parent classes, is the comprehensive information that you give them. You give them great booklets to take away as well. So from a parent perspective, I can really recommend, what I've seen you do there. So yeah, great work. Okay, so you say you don't tutor that much anymore, but what were your greatest tutoring strengths, Chris? And what would you say Teachitrit's greatest strengths are?
Thanks, Sheena. I think we have a number of qualities here at Teachitright. I think getting to know the children is obviously the most important thing, what they find difficult, what they need our support with. We have small group sizes, and that's really important to individualise that support. And as you just mentioned, we have a great knowledge of the exam system with over 400 students a year that we support for the 11 plus. We get really great feedback about was in the exam and the things that we can certainly work on each year. And I think certainly in these current times, we're very adaptable as well, and obviously doing a lot of online learning. And but I think our key strengths of the business are getting to know the pupils, as I said, but also making sure that our material is of a high quality as well. So I do believe we use some of the best materials, some of which are our own that we've written, but we also get materials from other sources to marry up with what the children need to study. I think also I would just mention at this point how the system evolves as well. That, for example, Reading Boys at the moment have now introduced creative writing. So having that knowledge and understanding. So when people and parents come to us, they know that we are, I'd like to think, on top of our game in terms of knowing the system really, really well. And it is all about giving the right knowledge and making sure that parents understand the exam system as well, from not only supporting their child, but also through the registration process and getting them ready for that exam.
Yeah, and the other thing that I mean, it's been a while since I've been to one of your workshops because of, thank you, COVID. But what the thing that I really loved as well was when you invite your children back to come and talk a year later to the new children and parents. I thought that was a really nice touch, and it was really heartwarming to hear the children's stories and where they were going next. And there was a really nice atmosphere. So again, I can, really, really vouch for what I've seen with you there, Chris.
Thank you.
So I ask all tutors this, but as you say, you've not tutored for a while, but what is or was your favourite part of tutoring then, Chris? When you
Exactly, and I guess I still see this now as a collective thing, not only with my teachers on my team, but with the parents and the children. And I think that the key thing I always find that is the thing we're always looking to do is help children make progress. That gives us the greatest satisfaction. I think certainly when you're preparing children for exams like the 11 plus or common entrance or pre-tests or whatever it might be, even GCSEs, that want children to be successful. Of course we do. We want to get them through their exams and doing well. But I think the greatest reward is also those children that maybe don't pass, but do make huge progress, and it supports them in their own schooling. So the greatest reward for me has always been to see children making progress, doing well, and also from an enjoyment factor as well, that I would say 99% of our children enjoy coming along to the lessons and taking part. And that to me gives me the greatest reward. I'd hate to think that a child wakes up and thinks, oh, I don't want to go to Teachitright. Quite the opposite. I think they do think, Teachitright today, which is what I always want.
Well, you also taught my friend's son successfully because he is at Reading with my boy and he's in year 9. He's a boarder there now. So well done. Now, this is a question we ask again before we close, but you are only allowed one tip, Chris.
Okay.
What would be your one top tip to a parent?
It's very difficult, isn't it, just to give one, but I'll do my best. And I would say bite-size chunks of work. And by that, I mean not doing hours of hours. That doesn't work. We know for children that, concentration spans are a little bit limited. And, 20 minutes of focused work is far better than 3 hours of work. And I've always believed that children can learn a huge amount within the time period that we work with them. And just because you have them longer doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get cleverer or more knowledgeable. So if I can give it one little bit of advice to parents, make sure it's bite-sized chunks. And if you'll let me, I'll just throw this in. Also vary that preparation as well. Don't always do it out of books. There's some wonderful apps, websites, lots of things that will really engage those children. So, sorry, that's 2, isn't it?
Well, I'll let that go because it was very positive for parents, but I couldn't agree more. And another tutor that we had on, I've stolen her phrase, and that's Lucy Kennedy from Essex Grammar Hub. She said, "Be consistently consistent," and I really like that. I think, and the short bite-sized pieces, Chris, I couldn't agree more. And kids, at the end of the day, it tickles me when I jump on Zoom calls sometimes with the book club in Agnes's group. After 20 minutes, the kids are like this anyway. Twirl it around. Give them a chair, they'll turn it into a roundabout. And you can see that they're losing concentration, and mine were the same. So I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And just to close, Chris, thanks ever so much for today. Can you tell us where we can find more about Teachitright And just, I know that you've collaborated with some very credible people. So go on, give yourself a big up.
All right, thanks, Sheena. Yes, so we have a website, www.teachitright.com, and you can find out lots about us there. There's videos to watch. There's lots of resources that you can find if you want to find out more about where we offer tuition. We have collaborated with a number of different people over the years. One of which was Galore Park, and I actually wrote a lot of books with them in their sort of fairly recent series where it covered all the different subject areas, and my main focus was verbal reasoning. But if I can just rewind sort of right back to the beginning of the journey, it was actually with GL assessment, and I wrote a series of books called the 11 Plus Explained series, and that very much got me on the journey of the 11 Plus, and I felt very privileged and very fortunate to be able to work with GL assessment. Since then, we've also collaborated with other big publishers as well. We're actually just about to sign a book deal at the moment, which I don't think I can quite mention who they are, but we're very close to signing that. And we're super, super excited about bringing out more Teachitright books and resources. So I say over the years, we've worked with a number of different companies and individuals as well. And I'm going to name drop Peter Francis as well. We work very closely with him on some non-verbal material, and he is certainly the best in the business on that subject area. But for me, it was always about finding the people in the know. And we've reached out to people like Alison Primrose, who's done all the Bonds non-verbal books, and people that we know that can really support us, support our children, and of course our parents, which is one of the most important things. So yeah, please do visit our Teachitright website. We've also done a lot during lockdown on Facebook live sessions, and they're all available, English and maths lessons. So yeah, please do go on to those sites. And lastly, our GCSE website as well is in full flow at the moment, and we're supporting hundreds of kids for GCSE at the moment as well.
That's brilliant, Chris. And I would like to add, within this group, within Agnes's group, you've done an awful lot of lives as well. And also, is it Luke who?
That's right. Yeah,
he's done a lot of lives
correct.
as well.
Yeah, Luke Lloyd is my business manager. He works on the GCSE side, and I know, I think a little bit like me, hugely passionate about teaching and learning, and it does certainly become quite infectious in the team. And I think all the teachers that I have with me are the same. They're incredibly passionate individuals, and I think they get the best out of the children.
Well, thanks, Chris. And again, I can vouch for a really nice, warm, professional environment that you offer, and with lots of interesting people as well at your parent workshop. So thank you for you've invited me in the past. So Chris, it's absolutely lovely to speak to you, and
thank you very much.
See you and Louise and your new edition soon.
Thank you very much.
I know you're a very busy family man, so thanks a lot, Chris, for taking
thanks a lot
time to talk to us today. See you.
Thanks, Gina. Bye.
Bye.